Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got North America's finest creative wonder Protoss, ASTREA, in the bottom left side, and he's up against Scarlet in the top right. The finest Canadian gamer of them all. One of the most naturally gifted, intelligent gamers, and of course, one of the greatest StarCraft 2 players. A huge legacy. Some of the most famous moments in StarCraft 2 come off the back of her burrowed banelings, her swapping races mid-tournaments, and generally being an absolute menace to play against. This is, of course, from the ESL American Regionals for the upcoming Atlanta tournament. It was the upper bracket round of 4, so a semi-finals of, I believe, a $10,000 tournament this is. And Scarlet is, of course, one of the big favorites in the region, but ever since about, what, 2020 or 2021, I believe, ASTREA has been up there with her and has, I'm not sure who's won more. I feel like Scarlet looked like she was a little over the hill and a bit outmatched as ASTREA goes for Nexus first year. But then last year, or I should say the start of this year and late last year, she really started fighting back and like dominating some of those regionals. And especially now with Neeb out of the picture, being fully retired, and Neeb was always one of Scarlet's big obstacles. I feel like it's very much a 50-50 split between Scarlet and ASTREA to see who can step up and dominate the region. But we'll see exactly how this goes as ASTREA continues on forward, and Scarlet, she's going for what appears to be a pretty normal... Actually, no, that's like... Wait, this is a gas pool opening. Gas pool hatch. That's normally for a very fast Ling speed, or even like a Roach Ravager Ling all-in, but it takes so long to get across this map. Now remember, I've been talking about this map around Set Station a fair bit, and there is a very important factor, which is it takes forever to get across, and you get a free third base inside your base, which ASTREA is already mining out those minerals, showing he wants to take that right now. He's going to go Cybercore first. He actually already has 400 minerals. He could go take it now. And the thing is, that is why it tends towards either super greedy builds or super all-in builds. Scarlet's already making Ling speed. I think she's on the all-in train, guys. I don't know how the hell she can break through, though, because that is a full wall off. Okay. Oh, no. ASTREA, did he scout? He did scout a gas pool opening, so he's full walled for safety's sake. But little did he realize she's going lair. And you might be wondering, what does a lair unlock? Well, if you don't have anything but 19 drones, not a lot, but just enough. It allows you to get Dropper Lords. It also allows you to get Nidus Worm. 2 ways of bypassing this wall off. And already we've got an Overlord. Where's this guy going? Okay, so she's got an Overlord on the right and an Overlord on the far left. She's going to drop Zerglings from 2 sides at once, and she'll probably follow it up with a Nidus Worm. It is a Speedling all-in, which is normally blocked by a wall off. And if you go for something like this, it shouldn't really work, because they should have plenty of Oracles or Adepts up in time, but not if you're building a third Nexus. ASTREA clearly had the greediest of plays in mind. And I gotta say, I do think after seeing an early gas pool, he should have known something's up, but I think he's just got faith in the power of the wall. And he's like, oh, this could be a mind game from her. I'm just going to follow my build order, see how it goes. Now notice these Overlords should be morphing soon, but she needs 25 gas for each one. So that one's going to morph over there. This one needs 25 gas. She's waiting. She's like, come on, 2 more. There we go. Immediately on 25 gas, they go down. The Nidus Worm's building at home. This is a dirty way to start off the series. And to be fair, it could work even in a macro game. Now, ASTREA's made a sentry. He's like, cool, we're going to verify what's going on. It's an early enough scout. I should have plenty of time to react to whatever shenanigans she's doing. He sees no drones on the natural, and immediately he builds a shield battery. He knows he might be in trouble here, but he does not quite realize. Now he sees the Nidus Worm, the Queens and Lings getting inside, but she's already got Lings inside the main and the third base. He pulls probes, wanting to stop the Nidus going up, but with Zerglings here, they can distract those probes very well. Zerglings come up from the other side as well, surrounding the Sentry and Stalker. Oh no. If ASTREA loses those units, he's in big doo-doo right now, and Scarlet is taking him to Doo-Doo Town. She says, you're up Doo-Doo Town, up Doo-Doo Creek without a paddle, mate. You are gonna have to get your hands bloody dirty. But even with dirty hands, how do you do this? You've got 2 Stalkers, 2 gateways on the front. The battery overcharge does save the wall off. He can maybe defend it as natural. He's still up 29 probes versus 18, but that main base is going to go down, as is the Twilight Council. Nidus pops up in the third base as well. Creep Tumors spreading on the high ground. It's just 2 Queens, 43 Zerglings. It's a very simple Zerg army, but how do you stop it? Well, you hold position on the ramp. But guess what? She's just going to pop up on the other side. Oh, Scarlet bringing out a fantastic build for a map, which I guarantee you, she would have been so upset playing this map in a macro game against Neeb or ASTREA. either of these Protoss players that give her trouble in the region, she would not be happy with it. She feels like Protoss is very powerful if you let them get to the later game stages. She does not like going to those stages, and this map is perfect for it. Good shade back, but oh no, he loses 2 adepts before the shade completes. ASTREA's just gonna tap out. He knows there's no way he can survive there. Even if he turtles on one base for a little bit, she can expand behind it, drone up, and that is an easy, cheesy game 1 victory for Scarlet. All right, well, a fun way to start the series. Me Twitch chat has already said ASTREA deserved that. And I can't say I disagree. If you try to go Nexus first into a 3rd Nexus immediately, I just hope your full wall off blocks anything Zerg does. Well, Scarlet's got the punishment for that, doesn't she? We're going to go on to Oceanborn now. ASTREA down here in the bottom right with an interesting pylon location. Oh, okay. I think you can wall off with 2 buildings if you put the pylon in the wall. The downside is obviously the pylon's a weak point, but I think he's basically saying, hey, I want to get the wall off up as cheaply as possible. I don't want to have to build that 3rd structure. Oh, okay. Does he build the cyber core there and then leave the opening down there? This is an interesting wall off. ASTREA is very calculated in his openings. He does also block Scarlet's 3rd or natural, so she has to go take her 3rd base. Drone's rallying on out. She's going to just go for a hatch gas pool. I like this scout, guys, making sure he's not getting proxy hatch. Scarlet's cheesy. She had her rebirth in, like, I don't know, 2017, 2016, where she started playing very cheesy build orders, mixing them in. And especially against Protoss, she likes to do that. Now, I always say that you need to mix in cheese versus Protoss, because the way Protoss players play is if they know what you're doing and they know when you're going to attack, they will literally have no defense at all until just before your attack hits. They'll get just enough units to defend, and then they're just like miles ahead and they have all this tech and economy. Kind of like a more extreme version of how Zerg plays, where Zerg, you know, tries to drone up to the last second and then build the army they need. Protoss and Zerg kind of share a similarity in that regard, but Protoss is more prone to just like, if they think they can read what you're doing, they will just try to get away with absolute murder. And this is why PvT, for instance, you see all these like random bunker tank all-ins and just really weird proxies getting mixed in there, because the moment you become predictable against a Protoss player, they're going to cut all the right corners and get way ahead. And Scarlet realizes ASTREA is a genius at that sort of stuff. She does not want to give him that room to breathe. That is a pretty solid choke point there, guys. I do think it's a little awkward walling with a unit between that and that side. I always like to have an artificial choke point because the corners on these little bits of terrain are very hard to judge where they are, and it's usually much more narrow than having a building overlap. But what I like about it is the choke point is on the inside of the wall. If it's on the outside of the wall, it's hard to reinforce your 3rd, whereas here, your units can kind of just easily move between this gap between natural and 3rd base without exposing themselves far out front. So definitely some good planning by ASTREA. He goes for Stargate into Warp Gate. Adept comes out and chronos across the map, but he's mostly shades across the map, so he's mostly chronoing his probes. He'll save his next couple of chronos after this for the oracles. Second Adept's just going to rally at home to block her scouting. Scarlet's only built 4 Zerglings, and they're all at home right now. Adept's going to try and sneak in behind. Uh-oh, Scarlet! Oh, little sloppy by her, but she does react in time. Not want to be losing any drones here. I like that she's already got a creep coming out there to connect the bases. The base is on the way. And while she's slightly supply blocked on 36, you'll notice she has no lava available. There we go. 2 lava just popped out. The lava inject's popping, but so is the Overlord. So a very minor supply block on 36 is actually optimal with these standard ZvP builds. So very well played by her. Now, interestingly, she's spreading creep around her main as the priority. Oh, I really thought that tumor would go to the front, and then she'd use this tumor to go out to the right. That's interesting. Extra gateway in front of the pylon. You can see he's reinforcing the weak spot in his wall. Very wise. And a Phoenix on the way to deny the Overlord. What are you doing, ASTREA? You know ASTREA's up to something dirty. If he's gone for a Phoenix, he wants to hide what he's up to. Now, the ultimate mind game there is because Scarlet, when she sees a Phoenix denying her Overlords, she's going to be like, ooh, he's trying to cheese me. You can just play a greedy macro game there, and the Zerg will be like, and just keep denying scouting, and the Zerg will like be building roaches. They'll be worrying about what's coming. Is it a Glaive Adept follow-up you're trying to hide? You know, are you going for 2 Stargate Tempest? Twilight Council. Okay, so we know it's a Twilight Council, and there's no second Oracle. This is pretty obvious that he's doing something. He's not really disguising it. And to be fair, if you go a Phoenix, they kind of know that you're up to no good. Yeah, 2 more gateways going down. It's going to be 4-gate Glaive Adept. I like this call from ASTREA. Scarlet's going Evo Chamber. Ooh, that's not ideal against Glaive Adepts. She wants to go for the fast melee build, probably the 50-50. You know, about 50 to 55 drones and then 50 Zerglings. Really shuts down those Blinkstalker aggression builds. But the problem is, well, I mean, melee Zerglings can do well versus Adepts. If it's like a few Adepts, they get surrounded by the Lings. The +1 melee Lings wreck them. But it's if you get like 16 Adepts in a big ball or in a choke point on the ramp, that's where the Zerglings just do terribly. Phoenix is just scouting right now, and he sees a pretty good work account from her. Sees the Evo Chamber as well, so good scouting for Astraea. Phoenix can pull back. 4th base already on the way. She's really roaring on that economy. And wait, he's going Blink? Guys, he's doing 3 gas Blink, so he's going to try and play a Blinkstalker timing attack. Okay, that I was not expecting. Now she sees a few of those. Her build is actually hard countering his build, maybe? But she's droning a bit too hard. She's droning to 62 workers. If she stopped at 50 workers, then it would be fantastic. But you know what? This is going to hit so early. She might lose that 4th base. That in itself is not a kill move or anything like that, but he's probing still behind this. He's not all in. She's looking for a 5th base on the left. This game's going to get quite interesting. There's only 10 Zerglings and 6 Queens, so Astraea can get a lot of damage done here. Zerglings here getting ready to pounce. She needs the next big wave of Zerglings to come out. Buying time with her Queen. She's just trying to preserve hit points on that hatchery. 5th base is started on the other side, so if she gives this up, that is an okay call. Forge has only just started for Astraea. He doesn't have a Robo. He's only got 4 gates. He's pretty light on his production. That being said, it's not even 6 minutes yet. Oh, Blink's not ready! Blink's not ready! The Oracle's really helping out here. But Blink is not ready, so he's losing quite a few Stalkers there. Oh, I think this is decent for Scarlet because she's killing so many expensive Stalkers, but the Oracle does have 18 kills now. Units lost tab tells us that was in favor of Astraea cost for cost, but I think that's acceptable to push it back, keep your base alive. Well worth it for Scarlet to take that trade. And her units are very easy to replace, especially as she gets a 6th hatchery up, 5 bases and a macro hatch, Baneling Nest and Roach Speed on the way. Fantastic play by Scarlet. She's in a pretty decent position right now. That being said, Astraea is going to go for a quick 4th. And unless she can punish that, he will get away with it. That's a redundant statement, isn't it? If she can't punish it, he'll get away with it. Some people say they learn a lot from listening to my commentary. Oh. Sky is blue, sun is yellow, crayons taste good. These are some words of wisdom here, guys. Zerglings are going to come in for a cancel on the 4th. The Stalker's balled up at that 4th base. She actually could overwhelm this pretty hard because his Oracles are on the other side of the map. She doesn't know the Oracles are on... No, she knows the Oracles. If she committed there, she can kill the 4th and all those Stalkers. She just has so many Zerglings. And I don't think he has like enough units there to actually hang on. He just got lucky. He got lucky. She kind of blinked there. She was like, oh, I don't want to take the risk on it. And I get from her point of view, she doesn't realize, but we know it's just a small pack of Stalkers. Now he's making Zealots +1 charge. Templar Archives. 4 more gateways are coming up to help do a semi-wall on this base. This is the sort of wall that's really good, except if Banelings get in, you've got nowhere to hide. You do have a bit of area to spread your probes, right? You can spread them all around to try to not get hit, but I always feel a little afraid of these like single choke, way in, single way out wall-offs on a base. Always scares me. Oh, he's gonna go for Storm. Nice. Phoenix does come around the top side. Units lost tab looking pretty decent here for Astraea. Scarlet's building 13 roaches. She's got +1 melee, so she's not going +2 melee anymore. Maybe since the Banelings don't one-shot workers, she's decided, screw it, having a bit more roach ravage is probably more important. And considering Astraea's only built 10 Stalkers, well, 11 here, and he's going Zealot, Archon, Storm, it kind of makes sense. You don't want, you don't want to be too heavy on Zergling Baneling against a guy that's going to be heavy on Archon Storm. You'd rather have a bit more Roach Ravager, units that are going to do a bit better against the Zealot Archon, and can tank more of the Psy Storm. Banelings are on the way, so it's just going to be a +1 melee, +1 range, Ravagerling Bane timing. Astraea's moving out at the worst possible time. He's not been realizing this is an all-in. I think he saw a lot of drones, so he's thinking, oh, she's playing a macro game. Oh, now he finds out his Zealots run into a giant surround of Roach Zergling. Bit of a mistake. She could have surrounded those Zealots with those Zerglings to stop them retreating, but his army's just so far out of position. What's he going to do? I think he had enough Psystorm here to actually defend this attack if he had the right positioning, but he's just so out of position. He's now trying to get back here. That base is absolutely ransacked. Those Banelings may end up going in this mineral line. No. She's looking for the army. There is Psystorm available. She's about to find that out, and the Banelings wisely run away from the High Templar. Oh, no. Oh, the probes try to get in there. I think this is a good idea for her to pull away from the High Templar. 30 probes go down. The Nexus almost dies. Oh, somehow the 4th is still alive. If ASTREA can keep that up, maybe. He's on 58 workers, but he's only got a few Stalkers, 2 Psystorms. Those Psystorms need to be big. They're good Psystorms, but he's got to morph Archons right now, and he's just got no firepower. The Oracle's coming in and killing a lot of units, but moving out at a terrible time for ASTREA. Just not having his Oracles out front, keeping track of her army. That's a disastrous mistake for ASTREA. I really do not think he was in a dead position. If we rewind a minute there to when he's moving out, what's he got? Let's pause here. He's got right now 4 High Templar with a Storm each. The Storm's just finished. +1, 11 Stalkers, 12 Zealots. It's not that big of an army, but if you can fight Cannons, Storm, Stalkers all together here and do the Zealot run by on the north and then make an extra Archon or 2, he's got the gas. If he can get 2 or 3 Archons up, I don't think she breaks through. She might kill some probes. She might trade on his army. His economy is ridiculous at 88 workers, but yeah, that's a huge oversight for him. He just did not expect her to come across. It seems like in his mind, he thought she was going for Hive tech. He didn't see a Hive, but maybe seeing a lot of drones going to the 4th just made him think that. Either way, GG, well played by Scarlet. She's up 2-0. All right, down here in the bottom left side, Scarlet, she's up 2-0. She just needs one more to finish off her opponent. And if you can take down ASTREA upper bracket round of 4, then you are a shoo-in to win the entire tournament. ASTREA and Scarlet, the clear favorites in the region, with, I think, players like Special, Kelazur, Trigger, Cham, a few of those guys all coming in close behind. But definitely ASTREA and Scarlet looking like absolute monsters usually. And definitely look like the most consistent and scariest of the players. Scarlet has to take her 3rd here on Alcyon. So ASTREA being disruptive, keeping up the pressure a little bit. Man, that last game's just such a unfortunate mistake for him, though, and it's something he's really going to be kicking himself. You cannot lose track of the Zerg army in the mid game in that stage if you've taken a fast 4th, especially, number 1. And number 2, he went Storm Stalker, which is a very defensive army. If you move out, you should only be moving out with your Stalkers to pick at creep or a bit of a Zealot run by. Moving forward with his whole army, I think he just somehow misread that game and like I said, thought she was going to tech up to Hive really quickly. And he was like, okay, let's go make her make Ravages, scare her a little bit, deny some creep spread. He just misread the situation he was in. And it went from what was a very playable spot to a I'm completely dead. And you might look at that and go, well, look at how fragile Protoss is. Like, I can already imagine there'll be a few comments, as there is in any situation, any StarCraft. So don't turn it into an argument about, oh, my race is weak, or they're always complaining about their race. There's always people who see the game a little bit wrong, right? And I'm sure there'll be comments, people going, oh, look how fragile Protoss is. He's on 88 workers going Stormstalker. He basically invested 99% of his money into economy. He was at the point where he was about to start investing heavily into army, and he was, in the next minute or two, going to scale massively into army power. But if you think about it, do you have the right to be pressuring a Lairtech Zerg who's down 10 workers on you, despite having a good opening, and no scouting of where their army is at any time? If you could get away with that while being as greedy as ASTREA was, almost 90 probes, it's like, come on, mate, come on. A 90 probe Protoss is so scary as the Zerg. If Scarlet didn't get in on him right then and do damage, he was going to outscale her. He was just going to make so many Archons and High Templar and probably go into Sky Toss off of it. But Scarlet's been keeping her foot on his neck so far, not giving him the room to breathe. That's always frustrating. Scarlet hits her hatchery in frustration with the queen there. The 2 drones were stacked on top of each other, so when she pulled them, she couldn't select the weak drone, and even when she did, the other drone was too close to it and blocking her from building a Spore Crawler right on top. So ASTREA does get a drone kill, which is a slightly smoother start in some regards. Second Oracle's on the way. First Oracle's playing very defensive for now, just moving. Oh, no. I thought he was going to the 3rd. Yeah, he is. He's making sure no Zerglings can deny the 3rd. Now, technically, she could have hidden off to the side, ran in now and cancelled it. But that's a pretty risky maneuver. Building a lot of Zerglings this early means you're going to have to be down at like 25 drones. And that is an epic commitment, where often cancelling the 3rd base doesn't make it worth it this early on. Oh, gets the probe. I do like that micro from her. And her Zerglings. Oh, good. He pulls back into the pocket where only one link can hit. Good pullback by Scarlet. And he turns on the Oracle, which is kind of wasteful for him. 7 more drones on the way. This Oracle hasn't killed any workers yet. I love that she stacks her drones on her main and her third. And only now, as the spores finishing, queens are all coming out, does she reclaim the control of that base. Now, she's only got 5 queens right now. She's not building anymore. She's being extremely greedy. She also doesn't have a spore in the main or the third. What the hell, Scarlet? Oh, Scarlet's being crazy greedy. She's rushing a gold base right now on the left side. She loses 4 drones for it. That's still not enough to really punish the fact that she skipped spores and she's only on 5 queens. Normally, you'd go to 6 or 7 queens if you want to skip spore crawlers. Usually 7, sometimes 8 queens if you're skipping spores like this. But she skipped spores and stayed on 5 queens and is using that money to rush a gold base. She's doing a naughty right now. And I don't know if ASTREA is going to be keeping up with this. I feel like she's got so much momentum in this series. And now she's getting away with a very greedy build. If he can get one really good more Oracle run by. Oh, he sees it. He sees it. There's 2 queens here. That Oracle's going to run out of energy pretty quick. He only gets 2 drones. She's fine with that. She can absorb these losses. It's honestly water off her back right now. She doesn't even care. What's the saying? Water off a... In my head, it was water off a turtle's back. And I'm like, that is definitely not water off a fish's back? Dolphin's back? What is it? I don't even know. I'm like, water off a turtle. Water off a duck. It's water off a duck's back. Thank you, chat. I was like, water off a turtle's back? I mean, technically, yes, the water runs off the shell, but like, that's not the saying. Nice harassment. He gets 2 more drones there. What would I do without Twitch chat correcting my ability to speak? Oh, wow. ASTREA's taking a 6-minute fourth on the rich gas as well. You don't want to let Protoss get that rich gas. Double mining on the rich gas, whereas gold minerals is only plus 40%. And it's only 1 gas, so it's not the end of the world. She's going to play a Hydra Bane. Oh! Interesting. Hydra Bane's a very slow-paced style, because upgrades, with the buffs to the upgrades, Hydra Den only takes 29 seconds. It is the fastest tech structure for Zerg, by the way. But the upgrades still take a while to get going, and the Hydras themselves are quite expensive, and giving any room for Protoss is quite scary. But, oh, she can cancel the 4th. Oh, she doesn't see it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. She could click the Nexus, maybe. No, she forces a recall. Probably best to pull back here for Scarlet. Yeah, Scarlet? Scarlet? Wait, she's going to commit. Oh, she's mad dogging it. Absolutely crazy attack here. I don't think this is working out, though. His choke point positioning is too good. The Oracles don't have energy. But, yeah, that was a really good fight there. And, oh, she could have got a free cancel on the 4th. Bit of a mistake there for Scarlet. Mass Zergling attack, but it doesn't really achieve anything. And she's only on 60 drones. 60 drones is more of an all-in drone count. It's more of a, I'm going to go kill you now. But she doesn't realize that he has a 4th already up. And she's making Hydras right now, but they're only going to have movement speed. Groove Spines has not started. It is the faster upgrade. It only takes, I believe, 50 seconds to upgrade. She's completely all-in off 60 drones. So it's a low economy Hydra Bane all-in. Storm is very good versus this. On the other hand, ASTREA is probing way too hard yet again. And his Oracles aren't fully keeping track in the middle of the map. I mean, if he just loses to a giant 60 drone Hydra Bane attack, he'd be kind of upset. Seeing the gold base, he doesn't realize she's this low on the drones. But he's got to figure it out sooner rather than later. If he doesn't see this army coming and he's out of position again, it would be a very upsetting way to lose. Baneling speed is almost done. It's going to be about 15 seconds away. The Hydra range won't be ready at the start of the fight, but it's going to be ready soon. I'd love to see her break these rocks down and go for the natural, actually. If she doesn't attack right into the High Templar, she can spread really well against the storms. But ASTREA, oh, he hears it. He hears the sounds of the army breaking the rocks. I think you can hear that through the fog of war when it's nearby. Oh, those Banelings are very clumped up. Those Banelings are very clumped up. Oh my god. Oh, she does get 2 Banelings onto the High Templar, but it's not enough to kill them. Oh my god. Oh my god, Scarlet's going full NA. She just did some Uko micro there. That was some, I'm just going to shove my army onto your... Oh, sorry, not Uko, actually. There was a famous game, Wayne did it in the regionals this season. Oh, she just clumped like crazy into those Psystorms. And even though she gets rid of the High Templar, that was not a good fight for Scarlet there. I think she didn't have an Overseer or any Zergling scouting ahead. She wasn't really aware of his army positioning. She got a bit excited there and just basically shoved her hand into the meat grinder. It's definitely a good fight for ASTREA. He's on 83 probes. She was on 60 drones the whole time. So that should be game over now. He's not remaking High Templar. He's making Plasma Shields. I like that with the second Forge. Immortals getting mixed in. It's never a bad idea to have Immortals in your army. They might not be the highest priority in some scenarios. They're always decent. 3 cannons, a couple zealots warping in to defend the left. Scarlet's built a few more workers. She's on 67 drones now. I wouldn't have minded seeing her rush Hive Tech off this early gold base, whether that be like an Ultra Swarm style, which, by the way, if you tech Ultras fast, it wrecks Stalker Storm. It's so good against High Templar Zealot Stalker. But either that, rush Hive Tech for Broods, or play more of like just a Ravager Bane style where she could have started hitting her timings a bit earlier. To be fair, even with this style, I think she could have killed him if she split that army up and came in from multiple sides, or just didn't clump up that choke point quite so bad. She might have been able to do pretty well. Remember, she also missed the cancel on the 4th on the left. Now she's going to be fighting from behind. If ASTREA gets impatient, he could hand the victory to her. But if he just keeps upgrading, I don't see what she can do here. He's already got air weapons on the way, so he's thinking about a Sky Toss transition. Plasma Shields +3 attack coming in. Oh, random Archon does get caught out. That's kind of sloppy. And ASTREA, he sees no Hive. As long as he sees no Hive, he knows that the correct call is to sit back and just chill. Scarlet's going to make a giant Hydra Bane army. She's going to go for 20 Hydras. Massling Bane as well, backing it up. +1 melee is done, +1 range about halfway. Can you rush Ultras against Robo builds? If they go Stalker Colossus, Ultras can be pretty damn good against that. If they get a good amount of Immortals out, you better be damn good at using your Spellcasters. You better Blinding Cloud or abduct all those Immortals into your Zerglings as quickly as possible, because once they get like 6 Immortals, Ultras are not a very good unit versus that. So at the top level, where they're really good at covering their Immortals with feedback, it doesn't work out very well. But Ultras are a fantastic surprise move. They're fantastic against heavy gateway armies, Storm, Colossus, pretty decent versus Disruptors as well. But it's Immortals that really counter them. So any Protoss that's already building a bunch of Immortals, Ultras aren't usually the greatest choice. These are efficient for Scarlet. She's cleaning up these Zealots, but she needs more than efficiency right now. That's kind of the problem, is he can afford to throw these Zealots away. He's going extra Stargates, Fleet Beacon. High Templar are warping in right now. He's got a fantastic setup, and she seems to be waiting for him to overextend into her, and he's not making that rash decision. Ooh, she's going to save that tree. Just barely. Pretty damaged, though. She's going to have to leave some units there, or it will get sniped on the next wave. Lingbane's going to try to roll in. How many High Templar are on this map right now? We've got 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's like 5 High Templar on the right, 5 High Templar on the left. Prism drops some Zealots in the main. Queen's on the left, Hydra's on the right. Prism goes down. Nice move there. Scarlet, she's only got 1 Overseer, and it's on the left army, which means this Observer sees everything. ASTREA's got a Mass Cannon Battery Psystorm. And I love the way he's moving out front, so he can start storming her and then retreat and force her to chase through storms. He does kind of wastes a few storms there, but it is what it is. Good micro here by ASTREA. Oh, she's setting up a big spready. Big spready coming in for Scarlet. Mass Stalkers warping in. A unit that's going to perform pretty decently without micro. Unfortunately, he's already used all of his storms on this right flank, so those earlier storms getting popped out a bit earlier than they should have. Uh-oh. Battery Overcharge does well. Finally, the Banelings take it out. The Hydraling comes in from all sides. I gotta say, it's a pretty damn nice fight for Scarlet. But remember, she doesn't have much money behind it, whereas ASTREA doesn't. Oh, man. Blinking to the high ground. Such a nice move. Stasis Trap freezes some Banelings. High Templar from the left coming in. It looks like he left a few High Templar over there as well. Ah, very nice. A few High Templar remaining on the far left flank, and the rest rallying to the right. He does lose his 5th base, so Scarlet gets herself a pickup, but he's more than happy to do that as long as he can get up towards the air transition. Carriers and Mothership are on the way with +2. So he's going for the air transition. Hydras are not ideal against that. Scarlet's over here. She's posturing. If she ever gets cornered with this army, she'll be in big doo-doo. Massling Bane on the left. The Stasis Traps are so annoying. Oh my god, the High Templar! The storms, decent storms. Great storm on the cannon up top. Great storms. And the probes, 6 of them get taken out, but on the right side, oh no! Her Hydras, she didn't escape. All of her Hydras died. That's it, that's GG, guys. She just lost 20 Hydras on the right. They were meant to be distracting ASTREA, but while she was focused on microing the Ling Bane, she got cornered, or maybe she thought it was a smaller army on the right than it was. You could tell she'd kind of spread them in a bit of a concave here, but that was not a good fight for her, especially not because he's got 3/1/1 upgrades. Her Hydra's a +1 range against 3/1/1 Protoss. Yeah, his upgrades destroy right now. That is, that's GG, mate. Baneling run by on the right could do some damage. Maybe if you clear 2 or 3 mineral lines, Astrea won't be able to support the extra carrier production. Maybe. We're on a heavy dose of copium right now, guys. We are in the copium den of ZvP for Scarlet. And she's up 2-0, so obviously she can afford to drop this game. But definitely a situation where you feel kind of helpless the longer this goes, where Astrea is just patiently absorbing whatever you throw his way. Cannons mostly stop that roll-in of Banelings. Only 4 probes go down. Astrea has Zealots and a Prism on the left. Mama on the right. Mama comes in. Does let her presence be known. She has 7 6 damage attacks. Nice. +3 melees on the way. +2 flyer attacks coming in for the Protoss. Astrea is about to start doing some fun maneuvers, guys. Oh, look at this. He storms the Lings on the tower. We got Zealots coming on the left. Prism comes in around the back. Queen's trying to stop it. She's trying to stutter step to deal with it, but she can't. Mama's trying to slide down the right. The army's posturing on the right. It's getting ready to recall. Zealots on the left getting cleaned up, but here we go. Prism, Zealot drop plus Zealot warp in the main base. Mama's coming in on the bottom as well, but there's Banelings nearby. You do not want to recall your army on top of Banelings. Zealots up there. The Queen and the Hydraling trying to get back in. Lots of drones starting to fall that top left base. More Zealots going in there. Scarlet knows she is done. And Astrea, with just the Zealot multi-prong as well as the threat of the Mothership recall, pushes her out of that game. All right, guys, girls, ladies, gents, Zealots, Legs, Marines. We've got Astrea in the top left, keeping himself alive in this series. He's going to send a probe out very early, so he wants to block her base. And he's sending a second probe out, guys, and that's because one is going to build a pylon. So he's doing a 14 pylon. Oh, no! Oh no, he accidentally double-clicked his probes. For those who don't know, guys, StarCraft actually has a slower double-click register than Windows. So Windows, if you go click, click, or click, click, that won't actually register as a double-click. You have to double-click like actually quickly in Windows, but in StarCraft, it's quite slow. So sometimes you click, you think you misclicked, so you go to click again, and you accidentally double-click, and you've already done the right-click on the minerals to double the workers up, and that wastes a fair bit of minerals, messes up his mining in the early game. It's funny because it's a mistake that comes from him trying to optimize his early mining. And he ends up messing up his early mining and putting himself a few minerals behind. It's not going to, of course, break the bank in of itself, but it is an annoyance. And generally when a top pro gamer does that, it does mean that they're maybe not as focused as they could be. Potentially an insight into them being tilted. If they make a few more mistakes like that, you can pretty much infer that they're just upset, unfocused, not really in the moment. That's why I do like seeing pro gamer faces when they're playing. It's a shame sometimes with these regionals they didn't have cameras set up this season, which I understand is very hard to produce, especially with the different production they're doing this season. It can be quite a bit of effort. It's a lot to manage, especially for these long days and so many players swapping in and out. Now the probe is denying the minerals there a little bit. Astrea being a bit annoying. He's going for Nexus, Cybercore. Oh, he's done it on 21 as well. I have heard the 21 supply is slightly more efficient. You get that extra probe, at least before the Cybercore, if not before the Nexus. Scarlet's doing a very standard opening herself. Now, Hard Lead as a map for ZvP, if we think about it, it's all about how does Zerg break Protoss in the mid-game for the most part, unless Astrea brings out a meme build. And he would normally take this third up here, which means you've got this right ramp, and then you've got this big area to engage. So you want to try to break the gateway and get into the main and the natural if their army's too heavily focused on the third, or if they're too heavily focused on the left, you often want to swarm into that third and smash that mineral line and use that to force the Protoss out into this open area. If they're cowering behind their wall-ins, often there's the nature of Zerg is to smash through one side to take advantage of that. But, oh, hold my beer, says Astrea. It's time to bring out something more patriotic than Bud Light commercials. Let's go. We've got a Robo first build. Oh my. That's right, guys. Robo first. Normally in this matchup, that'll be for a Prism. There is a 6-gate all-in, but the fact that he's chrono-boosting probes tells us he's not doing that, which means it'll most likely still be a Prism first, but I would imagine a Robo Bay. Disruptor drop. Ooh! Oh, good Spore Tricks for Scarlet, but oh, he still gets a drone anyway. Cheeky bugger. Drone kill 2 games in a row. It's annoying for Scarlet to deal with. Our Overlord gets pushed back to the pillar by the Stalker, so it's just a single Adept pressure. Very light indeed. Robo Bay does go down. He's going to squeeze an Observer out, so he does have the gas already. And gets a couple of Zerglings. Adept does shade backwards. Now, usually you could go Colossus drop, but it sucks versus Zerg because Colossus do nothing versus Queens. Disruptor drop, and the thing is, you can do this as a 2-base all-in where you hit with maybe 1 Colossus with no range, 2 Disruptors, and just a bunch of unupgraded gateway units is actually a really good fast all-in. Hits about 6 minutes, I believe, 6:30 maybe at the latest. Or you can basically make it look like you're going to do that while you keep picking things off with a Speed Prism and Disruptor drop, and then you can tech on upwards into a 3rd base, into Blink, but try to hide the fact that you're taking a 3rd as long as possible and really make the Zerg overreact. Sit on 45, 50 drones, massing roaches and lings, going, oh god, I got to defend the all-in. So keep in mind, biggest fear for Scarlet is that 6-minute all-in. And then the follow-up to that is going to be figuring out, is ASTREA, actually taking a 3rd? When do you start droning as Scarlet? For now, though, she has no information. She saw a quick 3rd gas, so she kind of knows something's up because she hasn't seen a 3rd base. She can assume it's a Twilight or a Robo. She's probably thinking it's Glaive Adepts. And he is actually sending out a Prism and 4 Adepts, so he's really selling the story of this. She's massing Zerglings right now, building spores, thinking, okay, it's DTs, or maybe it is sneaky Oracles or something like that. She doesn't realize this is just Adept harassment, and it's all a distraction while he goes for the Disruptors. Okay, so there's a second Robo on the way. Oh my god, okay, this build order is ridiculous, guys. Adepts are going to shade in from the left. The Queens are there, but already 1 drone goes down. Make it 2. This is very annoying harassment. Scarlet loses 4 workers and mining time. Make it 5 workers as they do go back. Oh shit, he's going to get a 6th. Nice transfuse. Scarlet just saved that 6th drone with a transfuse. That was a Chad Gamer play from Scarlet. She still loses 5 drones though, and the Adepts are back in the main. Where is she? She's out of position right now. She starts to lair. She still has no scouting of what his follow-up is. She's confused by what he's doing right now, as you should be, because he is doing a double Robo ridiculous meme build. I saw this a while ago. Oh my god, he's doing 2 prisms? Okay. The way you do this build is it's a very delayed all-in, where you start just getting a mixture of all the Robo units. Immortals to kill Roaches, Colossus to kill Zerglings. You've got Disruptors to kill any units that clump up, especially Queens and Roaches. Scarlet's making a Baneley Nest. That is not what she needs right now. She sees no 3rd. She's thinking, oh, maybe it's a Zealot Archon all-in or something weird. Better get Baneling Tech just in case. And she's making Roaches, which is correct. She's also got a good worker count. She is up 10 workers right now. But ASTREA's coming in, and with the Speed Prism about to kick in. And of course, as this extra Disruptor comes out, this Prism's going to go home. He's going to have 2 Disruptor drops going. Oh, okay. Decent Disruptor shot, not amazing. And second one doesn't get anything. Only 2 drones on the first shot. Good defense by Scarlet. She's got 54 workers. She's building 5 more workers right now. And look at her vision. She sees no 3rd base. She's about to see another Prism fly out here. Let's see if she notices this. Scarlet hopefully notices that, but no, her camera did not snap up here at all. You can see the blue thing on the map, so she might be surprised by this. At the same time, trying to come back in on the south, ASTREA's looking for an avenue. He's going 2 Colossus behind this. He's got up to 6 gateways, and he's warping in mass unupgraded Stalkers to back up this all in. He's going to drop Disruptors on the front. He's actually built a shield battery at home, and that's because Solar and Dark have both killed him with all-ins while his Prisms were on the other side of the map in the EPT Weekly. This is like 6 months ago. It's been a long time since he did this build. Nice! He gets another Queen there. Okay, 2 Queens, 10 drones, 4 Zerglings. Scarlet, she's got Roach Speed on the way. That's going to be massive. But when push comes to shove, she needs to flank his army and sandwich it. And with 4 Disruptors and 2 Prisms flying around just taking pot shots, that's easier said than done. He messes up the shot there, only gets rid of one of those hits on the Queens. Scarlet's looking reasonably healthy. I think she stopped at the perfect worker count. But Zergling's going to be near useless versus this. Oh, more Disruptors come in from the left. A few drones do go down there. Okay. He's moving out with the all-in right now, but he's still waiting. He's waiting. So he's going to have 2 Immortals, 2 Colossus. He doesn't even bother with the range upgrade. He just needs them to stop Zerglings, I guess. Fair enough. And he's still got these 2 Prisms going around. They're being tracked by Zerglings. He's trying to find hits with them, but she's done an amazing job of shutting that down. Looks like he's going to join up with the army there. Warp in more... Is that Zealots? Adepts! He's warping in Adepts on the front at the same time, flanking. Flanking Disruptor! Watch out, Scarlet! Oh, God! Oh, big shot, big shot. Nice! But he does lose a Disruptor for it. It's not cheap. Units lost tab is massively in his favor, but remember, she's up 30 army supply. Roach speed's done. She needs to surround this army And she knows this. Look at the way she's splitting her army. Look at the angling for Scarlet. She's going to come in from multiple sides. Bile spreading across the army. The Lings and the Roaches coming in from all sides. Great spreading against the Disruptor on the left. On the right, though, she takes a big hit. Another Disruptor shot on the left also gets a pretty decent hit. One of the Disruptors goes down. He's focusing. Oh, it's Colossus. Nice hard pickups on the Colossus. Good Warp Prism micro. Oh, my lord. Fantastic micro from ASTREA. Dodges the Biles as well. Does siege up a Warp Prism. That Colossus almost goes down, but he saves it with the Prism at the last second. There's only one Disruptor left in the mix, but the two Immortals are still standing strong, and they have let their presence be known. 11 kills on one, 10 kills on the other, even more than the Colossus. Those are the deal breakers. You can't build Zerglings against the Colossus, but that means you're building Roaches into Immortals, and those two Immortals are such an important part of this build, but one of them goes down, as does one of the Colossi. This is bloody close right now. The Stalker Colossus, watch out! Oh, the Colossus does pull back. Nice Prism juggling, keeping it alive for now. That Colossus dancing in and out of the Warp Prism, and it looks like evacuating from her third. Scarlet's pulling back. She's only got 8 Roaches left. She's got so few units. More Stalkers warping in, and the Overlords. Oh no! The Overlords are all going down. I know it's not supply capping her right now, but this is insane value. And she's gonna lose her third base. Sporkriller comes in from behind, does go down. That one Disruptor just ready to fire in about 10 more seconds. And we still got one Colossus, one Immortal. Mass Stalker. There's more Stalkers than there are Roaches in this game right now. Scarlet's micro might be good. The problem is she can't pull drones versus Colossus. Pulling drones would be great against the rest of this army. The Colossus will roast and toast if she tries. She needs more Roaches. She's going to go for it. Here we go. Roaches coming in from all sides. Great Disruptor shot. Zones her back and gets 3 Roach kills. The Roaches come in from all sides, but the Colossus and the Immortal just won't go down. And that is the double Robo all in. It is such a dirty build. You keep them so busy with those 2 Prisms, just trying to drop Disruptors. Even though she defended that quite well, it's so hard then for them to deal with the push, because you've got a mixture of Colossus wrecking Lings, Immortals wrecking Roaches, and you've got Disruptors just killing anything that clumps up as well. Even with a flank from 2 sides, amazing trading for ASTREA, and just such a clever and unique all-in. I love that ASTREA is bringing out his meme builds when it's down to the wire. All right, guys. We've got ASTREA in the top right, forcing a 5th and final game. He's going to be blocking Scarlet's expansion yet again. Interesting, Scarlet has not learnt the 15-15 pool. I mean, she's obviously playing a lot of different games and working on Zero Space and doing all sorts of things. So I know she still plays a fair bit, but who really has actually taken the time to learn the 15-15? Serral? I've seen Reyna do it once or twice, but it didn't look like he was well practiced with it. I saw Solar do it once, and then never again. So I don't really think anyone has spent the time to do it, so probably shouldn't be criticizing her her playtime recently, just because of that. It is something that just strikes me as a better opening, though. If someone's blocking you this much in this series, I love a 14 or a 15 match. Alright, what do we got? Cybercore? Cybercore does go down behind that one. Probe's going to rotate here. Now, this map is Hecate. Hecate, or Hecate, as people want. You got to say the hard T, pig. Fair enough. Hecate is a map of choke points. It is a map of bridges. It is a map of beautiful flora and fauna. The giant Ursidax on this map especially stand out. But it's also a map where your bases get spread very thin. As a result, you are wide open to multi-prong. I feel like it's very difficult to deal with Zealot run bys as the Zerg, but I would say as the Protoss, it's even a little scarier once you get a 5th base, because it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Your first 4 bases are okay to defend, I would say, but even then, there's a lot of room in these areas between the bases, so trying to hold those choke points very important. And I would imagine Scarlet's going to go back to the good old stable Ravagerling Bane. The only thing... Actually, you know what? I don't want to see that at all. What I'd like to see out of Scarlet is her just pedal to the metal, full-on aggression, Spire. I'd love just no Evo Chamber, just Roach Zergling into Muta. I think is one of the just best ways to get an easy win versus a Protoss player. I think she has to not be predictable. Now, Twilight into Robo. Well, she's going to get forced into Roach play initially. This is actually going to be... Is he going to go Glaive Adept or will he go Dark Shrine, I wonder? Well, 100 gases there. Hasn't started Glaives just yet. Oh, he's going Dark Shrine. We're going to see a Dark Templar build. Old school, baby. No, as I say, that Resonating Glaive starts up. Never mind. I still remember Scarlet in 2017 when people figured out the Archon drop and the double-double. Just 2 prisms with 4 Archons. And Scarlet was like, any Protoss that doesn't do this build is an actual moron. They are actually so stupid. It's free damage. We were so bad at defending it back then because we didn't build enough queens as Zergs. And like her opinion, she was just the most vocal about it. But we all kind of felt this way. We're like, oh my god, the units just regen to full for free. This is ridiculous. Because we take so much damage from this double Archon drop. Or the double-double, I should say. It was 4 Archons. And then people realized you could build 7 queens and actually, like, the prism can't just hang out with no fear of getting shot down. And they have to be a lot more careful with it. But it took us a while to figure that out. Now, she scouts. She sees the Resonating Glaive. She sees the prism coming out. She knows what she's up against. She's going for a pretty late Roach Horn. So she's going to defend with Queen Zergling initially. And he is on 3 gateways. Wait, is this only 3? Oh, it's only 3 gateways. Dark Shrine goes down. Oh, it's already down on the natural, actually. So her scout makes her think it's not DTs when it is. Oh, no. It's still a minute out before Dark Templar hit, but she needs to start Spore Crawlers around that 5-minute mark if she wants to be safe against that. For now, she's massing Zerglings. She's going to go 50 Zerglings before building Roaches. She's only got 1 gas mining. It's a very mineral focus, but she's only on 35 drones. Her worker count is so low. She's playing a little bit afraid of these Adepts right now. He sees the vast amount of Adepts. I would not finish that Shade if I was him. I would see the number of Zerglings she's built, and I'd be torn as ASTREA. I'd be thinking, and I'm sure he's thinking, well, I'd love to trade because Zerglings suck against Adepts if I can find the right angle. But that's so many Zerglings, I probably don't want to commit too hard against a Zerg that has overbuilt this much army. And he would be right to just go home. If he loses all these Adepts, she might be able to counter swing across the map as well. He doesn't have a 3rd yet. He's just on 4 gases, 44 probes right now. Is ASTREA putting workers on gas? Cancels the Shade at the last second. Dark Templar about to hit on that left side. Oh, he's got a Dark Templar running in the 3rd. Spores go down immediately. She realizes what's up. She saw that prism, but if she loses this Spore Crawler, that could be a problem. He's just going for drones for now, looking for the guaranteed damage. Remember, her worker count was already very weak in this game. She's losing a bunch of units. The Adepts are distracting at the front, but oh, they're going to commit! He's going to commit with the Adepts at the same time. Her drones are all running around trying to find safety, and they are not able to. I wouldn't mind him focusing this Spore Crawler down. That Dark Templar still focusing down what it can. More Adepts warping in the main base. Dark Templar going after these. The Adepts shade out that left side. Dark Templar picks off another drone. Does get surrounded by the Zerglings. Good engagement there. 3 Adepts in the main as well as a Dark Templar, and a 3rd base goes up behind it. Blinkers on the way as well as an Immortal. That's being good damage. 10 drones as well as a lot of mining time against a Zerg that was already very low on economy. And I like the way ASTREA's handled this. He hasn't let her collapse her superior numbers on him. And it's just hard for her. She doesn't have a lair as well, so she can't really get any detection that's mobile. He's got an Observer seeing everything on the right side. And he's just being an absolute pain in the butt to play against. Meanwhile, he says, okay, I'm going to go Robo Bay. Let's get, Disruptors, Colossi, Blinkstalkers, Immortals. And as long as she can't counterattack, which is obviously a dicey call counterattacking against a player who's Dark Templar, when you don't even have any detection. Shades in, gets a drone, picks off a few Zerglings, picks up. Ooh, Queens on the high ground do scare him out of there. Good pullback. Bunch of Adepts ready at the 3rd. Battery will go down safely in the mineral line. I'd love to see another pylon powering that from behind. Looks like ASTREA didn't end up going ahead and building that, though. And the lair is only now starting. Admittedly, Scarlet is droning very hard, but I think because her tech's so late, she is forced to play late game, something she has not looked like she wanted to play this series so long. Because if you think about it, her roach speed isn't going to be done till 9 minutes. She basically has to take a 4th base and drone to 80+ workers and go to hive tech. Because any lair tech is going to be so late in the game, ASTREA is going to have like 4 disruptors by the time that gets here. She is back in the worker lead at least. She's got an Evo chamber, a Baneling nest. She's getting all that tech ready. But he's already pressuring on the front. A bunch of Adepts and a couple of Immortals here. She's been doing nothing but droning. Oh no, she might be underestimating this follow-up push. Dark Templar runs in the left side. The drones do get pulled trying to fight it. Roach is here fighting against the Adepts. The Adepts are going to shade in. That's a crazy move there for ASTREA. It's a good angle versus the Zerglings, but the Roaches will absolutely pound on those Adepts. Oh, the Lings could have been microed around a little bit better to get that surface area. ASTREA manages to pick off more drones. Adepts are in the main base right now. Adepts are in the main. Oh no! Scarlet losing 10 drones here. The Adepts catching her off guard. He's going to get even more. Another one, and another one, and another. Oh no, 15 workers. You're kidding me. Oh, that's disgusting. And it does so much damage. Oh, that was unnecessary damage as well. An opportunistic strike there from ASTREA. That was not, oh, I can definitely find damage. That was a, I'm going to poke and see if I can annoy you. And he ended up getting insane value out of it. He was not meant to do much more than be annoying, but oh, this Dark Templar on the left runs in the mineral line and kills another bunch of workers. The Adepts in the main base as well. Oh, get out of here. ASTREA. He's absolutely tooling Scarlet right now. She's in trubs. And she's got to be tilted. I would be so frustrated if I kept taking damage like this. But because her lair was so late, she just didn't have the tech to move out against the DTs. It feels like she's being kind of just pinned in. She's getting harassed from all sides. He's all over her. He's got a big Stalker Immortal Disruptor army out that he could start pushing the front with whenever he feels like. The only thing missing is a 4th base. If ASTREA had a 4th base, I feel like he would be in an unlosable position. But instead, he's only on 3 bases. He's thinking about a 4th, but he's not there yet. Scarlet, though, she once again finds herself all in off 60 drones, similar to that Hydra Baneling game. Let's hope she takes a much better fight than in the Hydra Baneling map. But ASTREA playing careful. He's camping for now. Warp Prism's on the way. 4th Nexus starts up. He's going to start transferring probes out of there. +1 weapons is finished for him. +1 range about to be done for Scarlet. Oh, get out of here with these Adepts! It feels like she has good vision, but he finds the one gap in her vision, and any hole's a goal for these Adepts, and boy, do they find a way to drive it in deep. 4 more drones going down. Very well played here by ASTREA. The Dark Templar on the left again! You are kidding me. Okay, finally this time there's enough Zerglings left there to deal with it, but that Dark Templar was an absolutely savage bastard. Stalker Immortal trying to hang out. Archon's gathering. Stalkers. Careful. Oh, good disruptor shot. That was a big boom boom. And a good boom boom on the right side as well. Oh, this is an absolutely devastating ult. Scarlet needs more damage, but the balls are landing. Oh my god. Cry havoc and let loose the balls of war. ASTREA there. An absolute monster. Comes out very well. And I do think this comes back to the fact that Scarlet was a little low on drones when that first attack came across. She was a little low on workers. Notice he's on 39, she's on 35, and she probably made more Zerglings than she needed here. And then he does a great job of not getting surrounded. If she hid the Zergling count and he committed into the shade, and then she surrounded him, maybe it works out, right? But she didn't want to let him get too good a position. But then because he sees she's so heavy on units, he knows to just be very cautious, very passive. He got a lot of damage here. He stacked it up. And to come back from down 2-0 with such finesse with his Adepts here, and the Dark Templar, the way he split them up and kind of calmly harassed her, didn't overcommit. And at some point here, she needed to squeeze in around her drones a little bit earlier. And then to, of course, realize. But her scout kind of hurt her. Remember, she scouted the main. She did not see this. She also didn't have a Zergling at his bases. So in this scenario, you got to realize she has no idea. Is he taking a 3rd right now? Is he going Dark Templar? Is he going for an Immortal Adept all-in follow-up? She just doesn't know. And then these Dark Templars start to wreak havoc. The Adepts start to shade in and out. And I really got to admire the way he was patient and calm. A lot of players would have got these Adepts surrounded by the mass Zergling. ASTREA never made that mistake. GG, well played.